for kids in Polynesian communities because, I mean, some of those kids are so freaking good, you know? And
well,
like Alabama's starting to do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
and Clemson, I mean, Clemson's QB, you know?
He's Hawaiian, isn't he?
He's definitely Polynesian. I don't know if he's Hawaiian or a different, Pacific Islander group, but
yeah, I'm all for it. I wrote a piece on him, the USC linebacker, today on State of the U. I think we should go after him. He's a thumper. The dude is an absolute beast. He's a junior, but because this year doesn't count towards your eligibility, he could have 1 to 2 years left in college. So we'll see. And then obviously we'll see after the football season ends. That's when the portal kids really get going and start entering the portal. So we'll see. We'll see. Another thing, is our guest ready, first of all?
So he's not ready yet.
Okay. That's
but what I wanted to talk about, since we're on the topic, is Bubba Bolden's Instagram Live.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, and so, just disclaimer, right? Like it's from his Instagram Live, so take everything that we talk about with a grain of salt, because these kids can change their minds, right? It's probably a lot of it will depend on the draft grades they get. But on Bubba's Instagram Live, he said, we're coming back, and he did say that the USC linebacker, whose name we can't pronounce, is coming, right? So who does he mean by we're coming back? You would assume it means Bubba and Brevin, at least.
And De'Eric.
Oh, yeah. I'd bet my savings account on De'Eric King coming back, honestly. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, and I was out to lunch, and all of a sudden my phone is blowing up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, what happened? Did someone decommit? And first of all, how is it that so many Canes fans are on Bubba's Instagram at the same time?
I have no idea.
In the middle of the day.
I don't know.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm weird, but I actually generally don't even follow players.
I follow players, but never have I once, gone on a player's live video.
Yeah.
Like, because they're just like looking at the camera and kind of just like talking.
Just vibing.
Just vibing. So, I mean, if that's your thing to watch players' Instagram lives, go ahead. But first of all, he says we're all coming back to win a natty. I don't think Jalen Phillips is coming back. In the mock draft, I don't know if you saw yesterday, one mock draft has him going number 5 overall to my Cowboys.
Yeah.
I know he's good, but number 5?
Yeah. I mean,
that's above so.
I know. I get what you're saying. I don't know if he'll be number 5. I do think he'll be a first round pick. And here's the thing, like, if Bubba, saying we're back, I think that could mean everyone but Jalen.
Yeah.
And the reason why, like, is Jalen's got to, I mean, you got to remember, like, his health history, right? The concussions, his broken wrist, just like his journey to get where he is right now, is kind of an incredible one. And I don't know, like, if I was in Jalen's corner, I'd be pushing him to go to the league.
Yeah, I mean, because it's different. Because we've had so many problems with players leaving early, but the problem is that those guys are leaving early to go to the 6th round, 7th round, undrafted.
Sure.
They're not even on practice squads. If you are a projected first-round pick, and Jalen Phillips is the kind of player that will kill it at the NFL Combine because he's just a freak. If you have that opportunity, go get yours.
Yeah. Like, give me 1 second. I'm just messaging our guest.
You're good. But I do think, and De'Eric King was talking yesterday to the media that he said something along the lines of, I wouldn't mind coming back next year.
Yeah.
So I think that he will come back.
Yeah.
And I think Bubba will come back. I still don't see Brevin coming back, even though we would all love him to come back. But if De'Eric coming back is the biggest thing.
Agreed. And to touch back on Jalen, because I had something I wanted to say in that, like I don't, people can say like, yeah, Ed Reed came back, he was going to be a first round pick. He came back to win and stuff like that. And honestly, if Jalen comes back, you have to think that we are right there with Clemson in the conversation for a playoff spot coming out of the ACC next year. If we return all of our dudes, my thing though is like, Jalen's one of my guys. He's probably my favorite player on the team. He has been since he came in and was, in the weight room. Like he wasn't even playing last year, but he was killing it in the weight room. He was doing stuff in the community, which I had a lot of respect for. And so like he's one of these dudes that I will always cheer for as hard as I can, no matter what he does, where he goes. You know what I mean? Like he's a dude that I'm going to be following forever.
Absolutely.
And that being said, like for him, I don't want him to come back because
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, like just, you could win a title and that would be cool and stuff. But dude, there is tens of millions of dollars waiting for him at the next level. And with his injury history, like, I don't know. If I were him, I wouldn't take any of that for granted. Just knowing what the other side is like, right? Because he was like, dude, he flamed out already. He was a flame out. And then he resurrected his career, and now he's going to be a first round pick. And so if I'm in Jalen's corner, I'm like, dude, you just got to go. Like, don't worry about college. You know what I mean? Go win a Super Bowl. Don't worry about a college championship. And people can hate on me for that, but like, I genuinely think, see, a lot of these kids, I won't mess around when I think it's best for them to come back to college. But Jalen is a guy that it just makes no sense for.
Yeah. Well, and for fans that would get mad at him for leaving.
Yeah.
Really? Like,
they can take it up with me, man. I'm not going to put up with that.
Like,
you're going to have that on my timeline.
That has fought through injuries and everything, and has done so much for this program, just in this year alone. And he's one of the leaders on this team, and he's a great guy. Like, how could you be mad at him for leaving early if he is like on the trajectory that he's on, and what he could go do if in the NFL if he left early? Like, how could you be mad at that?
Yeah.
Like that, in my opinion, that's selfish.
Yep. Oh, agreed. Like that's not going to fly on my timeline. If I see that, you're getting muted, at least, if not blocked. Yeah.
And so if he does leave early, which I think he will, I wish him nothing but the absolute best. And you know what I respected is that he plans on playing the entire season plus the bowl game, and that's not something you see, very too often if your team's not in the college football playoff and if you're, projected to be a high draft pick. So that just speaks to his character. But on another note, Bubba saying Bama ain't ready for us. Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh no. The one thing you never, first of all, I don't want to hear the word Bama come out of our mouths until after this season.
Yeah.
I don't care about that game right now. How could you care about that game when we have the number 17 team coming into Hard Rock Stadium on Saturday? I don't get it.
It's frustrating to me.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I'm
frustrating. Just let the season play out. And I'm not speaking towards Bubba. I'm speaking towards the fans, really, because I get so many questions about the Bama game, and I'm like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, and well, our guest is ready for us, so let's call him in just a sec. But I'm not disrespecting Bubba or talking, about what he's saying, but dude, like, how about we focus on beating backup quarterbacks on run-of-the-mill ACC teams first? Like, what do you mean Bama isn't ready for us, dude? Like, you know what I mean? We're letting the backup QBs at Pitt, Virginia, and NC State just like go crazy on us.
You think Nick Saban and his players are talking about Miami?
No, they don't care. They're going to take care of business and probably win another championship this year.
Yeah. Well, let's get on a guy that will most likely wholeheartedly agree with what we're saying.
Yeah.
Let's get him on.
That's why I like Holsum, is because he always, I feel like he's right in line with our philosophy on the Canes.
Absolutely.
Holsum, what's up, bro?
What's up? How you guys doing today?
Not
Pretty
too bad.
good. And hey, we loved you so much last week. Just figured, why not bring you on again this week? How you doing, my man?
Hey, man, it's always a blessing to wake up, man. That's my biggest thing. We got to attack every 24 hours with happiness.
Love you. You're so positive. You're the bright spot in all Canes fans. First of all, loved your film breakdown on the Duke game. Wanted to go over that real quickly. We all know. First of all, did you see that kind of performance coming?
No, I did not. I felt as though the Miami Hurricanes had a chance. Of course, it's Duke. In the back of your mind, you always keep saying that. But we had not proven that all year that we would take advantage and truly handle business against lower level comp since Tallahassee. So it just speaks about how the ACC has gotten better, honestly, across the board. And we had embarrassed the two bad teams on our schedule, which was Duke and Tallahassee. We embarrassed them. So that was a good part about it. And it wasn't even about the score. I mean, what a blessing to score that many points and have every single player who traveled with you play. Like that's a dream of a staff to be able to do that for the young men who have entrusted their future to you. But it's the execution level. It was how we did what we did. And they executed at such a high percentile offensively and defensively. I mean, it's just no way that these coaches, when they sat down and did that film, that they didn't get a grin, to think that maybe we finally have pushed past that level, and now we have the good communication in the secondary. The defensive line showed up. The wide receivers were catching the ball for the most part. De'Aaron King has been ultra careful with the football the whole year and really put the ball in open place. And you bring back Brevin comes back in, and he makes two catches that were both impactful. So things really came together. And it was really happy to see the genuine positive energy oozing out of our players. But it wasn't cockiness. It was just them being super happy that they executed at such a high level.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, it wasn't cocky. It was just the confidence that was just radiating off them, honestly, there's a huge difference between cockiness and just pure confidence. We all know that De'Aaron King played very well. Jalen Phillips and Quincy Roche looked like a machine. I wanted to know what other players stuck out to you, because for me, I was very impressed with Corey Flagg and Wayman Steed at linebacker. I think they played very well. Jafari Harvey, flashed a lot at defensive end. And also Navon Donaldson. I thought, seeing him back in the run blocking game, I thought he did really well, as well. So are there any other players that really stuck out to you that you were impressed with?
Absolutely. Keontra Smith and Gilbert Frierson. I mean, the striker position, man, they played. It was to the point, like, once Gilbert got out of the game, the second half, it seemed like 4 was in on every play. Every time you kept like, wow. Yeah. Wow. I mean, the team speed was on a different level. And another thing, Marsh, about what happens in this game is when you know that you know your responsibility, you play even faster. That's why coaches love the term snap count. When players come back with a high snap count, not an experienced team, because you would think B.J. Jennings is experienced because he's a redshirt junior. That doesn't. He has a very low snap count on the team. So in actuality, as a Miami Hurricane, at the beginning of the year, was a very young player. I think he had less than 60 total snaps in over 3 years. So it was going to take him some time to get up there. And if his snap counts were even at the championship level, mediocre level, subpar level, all those type of things are important when you're evaluating preseason. But we're to the point now where you basically kind of count to the next year. Your freshmen aren't freshmen anymore. Yep. Your seniors have really solidified things and getting ready for graduation and stuff like that. So you really saw Keontra Smith and Gilbert Frierson do some things on a consistent basis. Another huge thing, Bubba Bolden's open field tackling had been a problem for like 3 weeks.